Mentoring Voyage on the Digital Ark. In the heart of the Iron City, Elias felt like a ghost in the machine. The skyscrapers leaned over him like giants, and the rhythm of the streets felt like a countdown to a future he couldn't see. He clutched his phone, staring at another rejection email, wondering if his talents would ever find a home. The world was loud, fast, and seemingly indifferent to a young man searching for a North Star. Seeking a moment of quiet, Elias slipped into the heavy oak doors of St. Jude's. The air inside was cool and smelled of beeswax and old paper. Near the altar, a man named Arcos was tidying the hymnals. He looked up with a smile that reached his eyes, sensing the weight on Elias's shoulders. "The city is a maze," Arcos said softly, "but you don't have to walk it without a map." Arcos gestured to the few people scattered throughout the sanctuary. "Look closely, Elias. In these pews sits a hidden academy. That man in the third row is a retired structural engineer. The woman by the window is a lead surgeon. They have lifetimes of wisdom, yet they sit in silence. Because the world thinks their teaching days are over, they are mentors without a bridge to the next generation." Arcos introduced Elias to Alara, the surgeon he had mentioned. She sat in a sun-drenched corner, her hands, which had saved 1,000 lives, now resting quietly on her lap. When Elias spoke of his uncertainty, Alara's eyes lit up. She didn't just offer career advice, she spoke of the soul behind the work, merging her professional mastery with the steady pulse of her faith. To bridge the gap, Arcos and Elias worked late into the nights, developing the Digital Ark. It was a platform designed to turn the congregation into alpha mentors. It wasn't just a database, it was a vessel to carry the wisdom of the elders to the restless hearts of the youth. They watched as the first icons flickered to life on the screen, connecting seasoned professionals with eager learners. Elias became the first passenger on this new voyage. Under Alara's guidance, he didn't just learn about systems, he learned about purpose. She showed him how to navigate the complexities of his field while remaining anchored in his values. The Digital Ark made the vast wisdom of the church accessible at his fingertips, turning his career path into a spiritual journey. The movement began to spread. Arcos spent hours on the Digital Ark, connecting with Silas, a leader from a church across the ocean. Silas was eager to implement the same mentoring communion in his own community. The digital walls between congregations crumbled as they shared a singular mission: to foster growth and potential through the grace of shared knowledge. Soon, the pews of St. Jude's were no longer silent during the week. The church had become a bustling hub of community growth. Elias walked through the sanctuary and saw young professionals sitting with elders, laptops open alongside Bibles. The church was alive, following the example of the greatest mentor, transforming from a place of Sunday worship into a daily forge for the future. The mentoring communion grew into a global network. Arcos and Elias stood together, looking at a digital map of the world dotted with thousands of glowing lights, each one a church that had become a lighthouse for young careers. Elias was no longer a lost soul in the city. He was a navigator, helping others find their way through the fog of uncertainty. As the sun rose over the Iron City, Elias stood on the church steps, looking out at the horizon. He realized that the greatest treasure of the church wasn't in its stones or its history, but in the living wisdom of its people. With the Digital Ark beneath him and the great mentor above, Elias was ready to lead the voyage toward a world where no one had to walk their path alone.